אבל כאן delay את הקשת הזאת כשיתאים בין השיר.
כאן delay את הקשת הזאת.
I remembered my father's ship ran aground, as my father once told me long ago, and I suddenly realized what I'd found. I could never be sure I'd ever know. Behind the beached hull, it was then you learned the fear of being taken prisoner, lucky to escape when the tide returned and saved your destiny from dishonor. Rummaging through bank statements and golf tees, I opened a case filled with little shells. Pearly, fragile. Were they from the South Seas? I felt among them and found something else. As if enshrined in a case of velvet, a piece of shrapnel that once hit your helmet. This is the piece of shrapnel that hit America's Man of the Year in his helmet. Most of what I know about that war is from movies and Man of the Year. And I gotta say, Japan, where I grew up in my family, was thoroughly demonized. Thoroughly. And if you read, books like Naked and Dead and other books, what are the Japanese? They're soldiers out there saying, "You die, Yankee!" This kind of thing. They're like devils out there, thoroughly demonized. Well, I never studied the war against Japan. But my theory is that Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor because of this guy named Commodore Perry, who in the 19th century he forced Japanese harbors to remain open to trade with America and the West. Forced. And I gotta say, when I read that in school, I thought, this is wrong. Now, I did, way back then, or around, I was the age 15, 14, something like that. He forced their harbors to, I said, this is wrong, what he did there. So, my theory is, and I haven't read any books on the war with Japan. I've read no books on Japan. Naked and the Dead was considered to be the greatest book on World War II written in America. It was. And if you read that book, Japanese are thoroughly demonized in there as well. So later, I look on TV and I'm seeing stuff like there's 80,000 Japanese killed in the Battle of Okinawa. Once more, 80,000, and I'm saying, wait a minute, nobody told me this story. So, I gotta say that what I've been learning about the Japanese and about Japan, as an old man now, it's like what I learned about the great Isabella and Ferdinand, the Queen and King of Spain, who financed Columbus in his trip across the Atlantic to the discovery of America. These were two figures who were presented to us kids in elementary school in the United States as heroes. the great Ferdinand and Isabella, the wonderful Ferdinand and Isabella. But when I become around 65 and I'm converting to Judaism, what do I learn about Ferdinand and Isabella? The same year that they send Columbus on his trip to the discovery of America, 1492, they issue an edict banning all Jews from Spain. And Jews were to leave or suffer death should they stay and not convert to Christianity. This was the great Ferdinand and Isabella, yet nobody told me that back in grade school, high school, college, graduate school, and onward. I didn't learn that till I converted to Judaism. I learned about the edict issued by Ferdinand and Isabella. So, the great man of the year, what was he doing to me? He was sexually abusing me while I was an adolescent. And he was extremely abusive to me because I was not his biological son. I didn't know that, but he apparently knew. And man, did I suffer abuse. Well, this was his key to success here. And I suffered a lifetime of abuse for it.